Faces and Heels podcast. One handsome devil. Your host, Jack Purcell. Scissor me, daddy ass. Louis Perry, here comes. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell. Faces and Heels podcast.
Shot through the heart, and you're right on time for another chaotic episode of the Faces and Heels podcast. We got the Angry Geek, Louis Perry, Inksling, and Jack Purcell. And
that was the stupidest thing I ever heard. Shot through the heart. What? That was dumb.
It's only dumb if you don't understand the context, all right?
I understand the content. I know who we have backstage, but it was still stupid. What are you, Bon Jovi?
Well,
that was
really.
That was ridiculous, Jack Purcell.
Well, wouldn't you rather me be ridiculous than be boring and normal?
That's stupid.
No, not at all.
Well, you're ruining the momentum of my intro here.
You have no momentum.
Eric Hunting, good evening. Eric, I know you know through the...
That I know that you know that I know that you know that you know that I know that you know.
Hey, congratulations. Somebody famous now hates you.
That I know.
Right. Eric Hunting, love the new entrance. I did too. That picture of me with New Day was hilarious. That's so good.
Thank you.
And you and daddy ass, and you're like, scissor me. Oh my God, that was good. But anyway, I'm sorry that I've provided such a unsatisfactory intro because we have...
It's okay, because our guest, that's why he hasn't been here in 2 years. Because you messed up the last time, and now he ain't going to be back for another 4 years because you messed up this time. Yeah, I'm done bailing you out.
That's why we tend not to have a lot of repeat guests, right?
Because you suck. You're horrible.
Can you moonwalk?
No, you can't. You're horrible.
You're not very supportive co-host.
Not tonight. Nope. I'm a broadcast journalist.
Okay, Bobby Heenan. All right, listen.
Oh, that's why I got my name tonight.
Yeah, hello. All right. We have an exemplary guest tonight. We have a guy who's on fire. He was on 2 years ago, and a lot has changed since then, including some championships, all kinds of good stuff. So we want to welcome the Silver Sniper TJ Crawford.
There he is, the one and only. Look. What's going on, TJ? How are you tonight? Hello.
Oh, I
TJ.
can't hear anything.
You can't hear anything.
See, Louis, all your talking.
It's not me. TJ, are you there? TJ, are you there? Are you there?
We got some audio issues. That's all right. Louis, did you turn off TJ's audio?
No, I did not. He is all set to go. We heard him backstage. We were talking to him. And we are good. Okay. And hold on. Jack, entertain while I'll see what we can do with our guest.
I have no sound. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, we can hear TJ, but he can't hear us. Yeah, the battle against technology rages on here. But we're going to get it ironed out, everyone. So if you're just joining us, it's been 2 years since we've seen TJ Crawford on the Faces and Heels podcast, but he's back. So We're looking forward to talking to TJ. You've been seeing him all over pro wrestling. We've got pro wrestling, Wrestling Open. I'm wearing the shirt and I'm messing up the name. Blitzkrieg Pro, all kinds of promotions where TJ is tearing it up, chaotic, as I'm sure Eric you picked up on in my intro. Eric says it's Vince's fault. Yeah, let's blame Vince. You know what? Like, he's to blame for a lot of stuff right now. That seems to be the popular opinion on the internet. Anyway.
I am sending TJ private messages, and now he is gone. See, well, Jack, you done pissed him off.
You didn't have to go say shit like that.
I did.
Now he's gone.
Did I have to poop?
Yeah, he doesn't want to know about that.
Oh. Hey, Jack.
Yeah.
Jack.
Yeah.
New England, acknowledge me.
There you go. He's gonna be back.
Okay.
He'll be back.
It says device is not connected, so there's something going on.
Yeah, he was here. He was here earlier when we were talking. Yeah. So anyway.
All right. So let's talk about AEW. Did you see that women's match on Rampage?
I saw the aftermath. I saw my good friend Ruby come out of that match all busted up and bleeding. Yeah. And I was like, holy cow, what the hell happened to her? And I just saw it. Eric is definitely right. It was on fire. Yeah, for sure. I saw what happened. I did not see the match. I just saw the aftermath.
I don't know how anybody could have watched that match. And I saw some of these knuckleheads making negative comments online about Ty Conti and Anna Jay. I don't know how you had anything negative to say about that match if you actually watched it. Willow Nightingale, Ruby Riott, everybody tore it up.
Why? I mean, okay, they're making negative comments about Anna and about Ty. And it's Ty Mello, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right.
Check yourself.
I did.
And why? What?
Eric says, do yourself a favor and watch it back, Lewis. He's telling you to go watch the match.
Oh, yeah. I will for sure. I just haven't had a chance yet, Eric. I will go back and watch it. I just haven't had a chance yet. Between Angry Geeks, Faces and Heels, and a lot of other stuff I have cooking right now, I just haven't had time to sit down and watch it. I'm behind on a lot of different things. It's just why are they on Anna and why are they on Ty Conti? Especially the people that never been in a ring before, especially the people that never stepped through the ropes, that never, the armchair athletes. I'm tired of them. I'm really, really tired of the armchair athletes. I'm not talking super fans. I'm not talking mega fans. I'm talking just the armchair athletes, the knuckleheads, the ones that sit there and are like, oh yeah, they suck, this, that never once stepped through the squares. The keyboard warriors. There you go. I am just tired of them. The ones that live in their mom and dad's basement and think they know everything, or just my son. My son. Those people, I mean, they piss me off. I mean, that's what the Angry Geeks is all about, and that's what our network is all about. They just piss me off.
That's why. Yes,
exactly. They just done piss me off, and until they can do what they do, shut your mouth.
Right.
That's why they're getting paid and you're not.
100%. Hey, if you're private messaging TJ, ask him if he's using Chrome on his device. That might be.
No, he's back and he is. Devices aren't connected. He's having trouble giving permission to everything. He is back in, and the private chat. TJ is backstage, and now he's having trouble. He's saying that his devices are not connected. I think we had trouble with this last time he was on too. You might want to send. Yeah, he's having trouble coming in and out of the studio.
Well, I just sent a message, so let's see if that's helpful. Here we go.
So, what was your opinion as you're doing that? You can multitask.
I can.
What is your opinion on TJ's on TJ on the match that we were just talking about?
Love it. And I don't know what there is to complain about. I think the women deserve the main event spot more often, especially in matches like this where, I don't know why people have this issue of women bleeding, but what's the problem with that? You got a street match. And by the way, Tay Mello, as I guess we're calling her now, she's actually, a lot of people talk smack about her, but she's actually delivered several times in street fight style matches. I feel like you gotta treat all four of those women with a ton of respect for a number of reasons. But, even though people talk trash about her, she kind of proves everybody wrong. And I love what they did. And I love that she was making an appearance at PWG with the rest of the JAS. I don't know. She's earned her spot. I really like what she's doing. I'd love to see her in more matches like this instead of just talking smack and doing, just kind of, jumping people and beating people up and having, the number game be the issue. I'd actually like to see her in there one-on-one matches and just going in and wrestling because I think she can do it.
Oh, she definitely can. I mean, she proved it before. She is what? A black belt in judo. She's a Muay Thai fighter. She has the skills. She has the know-how. I think a lot of people are just taking her personal life and throwing her personal life into the mix, and that's what's happening. And don't do that. You know. And they're like really hating on the gimmick that she's playing against. And we'll get to Eric's comment in a second. They're just hating on the gimmick with her and Sammy. So they're doing their job. That's why they're getting paid. Let's bring up Eric's comment.
Eric says, she's not my favorite performer, but she has certainly proven herself in this style match. Eric, 110%. And let me tell you what's going to really harm both those performers is if AEW falls into the trap of doing this kind of reality TV nonsense with them as a couple. It's going to be a disaster. And I think it's only going to reinforce a lot of the sort of issues that people have with her persona in the ring.
Wait a minute. I never heard about this. What is going on?
So word is that AEW has been asked to create more content that is non-wrestling. So with the wrestlers as personalities without actually being in the ring wrestling. So the idea that apparently has been floated, one of the ideas is Sammy Guevara and Tay Mello having just bought a house and living together, the newly married couple, et cetera, et cetera. So while we're talking about this, I just got a message from TJ. He's got some technical issues. He's wondering if we could have him back next Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
And our listeners, we're not trying to tease you. We just had some technical issues. We're going to have the Silver Sniper revisit us next Tuesday, if that works for everyone. And I'm just going to send him a quick message. And the other thing is, Lewis, we'll have to make sure this is cool with you. Next week, it looks like we're going to do 2 shows on Tuesday and Thursday, TJ on Tuesday and Alyssa Marino on Thursday.
Absolutely.
All right. So we'll do a double header next week. Doesn't get much better than that. TJ Crawford and Alyssa Marino in the same week.
And Will Yates thinks it's great. He just gave us a
awesome Will
thumbs up. Right. And I'm sure our new home on Pod TV will not care, nor will our public access station. So let's get back to business.
So are people watching Pod TV? I know a lot of people, like young people I've talked to, have Roku and have Pod TV. Is that like a young person thing?
Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't watch it, even though we're on it. I'm too busy creating content for Pod TV.
Dude, new intro is masterful, by the way. I hope all the listeners and are viewing on Facebook right now and get to see it on YouTube. That new intro is phenomenal.
Well, I'm not even done with it. I just threw it together tonight. I wanted to finish it up really quick. And I try to do my best for my team And for our network, when I mean team, I mean you, Jamie, Emily, the Angry Geeks Network. Hopefully, we're going to get a couple more shows coming on that I won't be involved with. I'm just going to be posting them on there as I want our network to grow. But yeah, I try to do my best for you guys, and I'm glad that you like it. I know the girls like the Angry Geeks intros that I've been creating, and I'm glad you like that one. But you're coming over for the Rumble, correct?
We'll have to see. I don't know what I'm doing for the Rumble. I'd like to. It's on the 29th, right?
Yeah, and this Saturday, 2 weeks from this Saturday, because we got to get some more shots, because it's really hard, and I would like to get some shots for the Rumble. Cody Rhodes coming back from the Rumble, coming back, he's going to be in the Rumble. A lot of speculation that he kind of wrecked the number that he's coming out in for the Rumble, for the Rumble, where he tweeted. Did you see this? He
No.
tweeted number 3.
He
He
did?
just tweeted. Yes, Cody Rhodes tweeted the number 3. And is he going to come out number 3? Now, is Cody accident prone? Is he going to get hurt again? Is he going to end up being benched again? What is your thoughts about that?
How many Royal Rumbles has he been in? Maybe this is his third Royal Rumble?
I don't know. I don't know. I think a lot of people are putting too much stock into Cody Rhodes at the moment. And I mean, the whole thing about winning the World Heavyweight title, WWE title, for Dusty, God rest, that is a very valiant thing to do. But can you see Cody as our heavyweight champion?
Yeah, I can, because who else is it going to be? You know, I mean, who else is going to who think about it this way. I know Drew McIntyre's on your mind, but aside from Cody Rhodes, who really has a shot at dethroning Roman Reigns?
That is a good question. I mean, Cody definitely has the go-go juice. He definitely has it. Why are you laughing?
Jack is weird, and I was alien abducted. You're abusing your power, man. I mean, you're right. I'm weird, but hey.
Cody definitely has a go-go juice. If he did overcome this injury and he is ready to go, yeah, he could do it. He does have the charisma. He is definitely more like his dad than Dustin was, or is, for sure. I think he can do it. But as far as carrying the company on his back, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he has that type of charisma. I mean, United States champion, yes. Intercontinental champion, yes. Heavyweight champion, maybe as a transitional champion, definitely. Okay. But I'm not sure if he has the staying power as a Rollins or a McIntyre or even as a Sheamus. I'm not sure he can actually do it.
How do you feel about Sami Zayn? Now, I know he's not necessarily in the category of some of those other wrestlers in terms of, raw power, but considering how strong the storyline has been with the Usos, with Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn, do you think there's potential for Sami Zayn to dethrone Roman Reigns?
If he did, he would be in the same spot as Yokozuna on Yokozuna's first title run, which would be 30 seconds. Where
Hulk Hogan comes in with a black eye and knocks him out.
Yeah, I know. I think it'll be very unbelievable if
you're right.
Sami, if they had Sami dethrone Roman, it would be very unbelievable, and I don't think it would. I don't know. I don't know. And I mean, Eric says Seth or Kevin maybe, but I'm in on Kobe. That's what I call my son Cody. I don't. I don't know. See, now again with Kevin Owens, we already saw Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns. We're seeing a lot of these matches over and over again. Um, I don't know. Yes, we need to see something new. So Cody versus Roman, yeah, that will be something new. But will the fans that don't know who Cody is?
Are there fans who don't know who Cody is? I think the only other option that
Well,
WWE is really hoping for is that The Rock shows up to fight Roman Reigns and loses, and Roman will defend against him. But I mean, how likely is it that The Rock's actually going to appear at WrestleMania?
well, considering his plans with Black Adam and Warner Brothers and DC Comics now failed, what else is he gonna do? And it's sad because I love Black Adam, and he I think he got way I think he got way too ahead of himself, and we talked about this last week. So I don't want to beat a dead horse because I was totally with him where his direction was going. Excuse me, with Black Adam and everything that he was talking about doing with the DCU. But I just think that Warner Brothers and DCU already had something going prior to all this happening. So I really don't want to talk about that. But with that being said, let's just leave that there. Let that dog lie. Um, with Roman, I don't know. I mean, Cody versus Roman, yeah. The people that don't know who Cody Rhodes is are the people that don't know AEW. The people that grew up on WWE prior to Cody's existence in WWE. I mean, you have people that are like watching WWE younger the younger generation that never seen Cody Rhodes until he just came back.
Yeah, I
And
mean, I guess it's ultimately up to WWE. And by the way, as we've said before, nothing new. The thing that WWE is unbeatable with is video packages, not
oh
only
yeah,
technically, but I mean, the content's usually very strong. Like they go back, they can present this guy as though you should have known who he was. They're going to, of course, talk about Dusty Rhodes. They're going to show past footage of Cody Rhodes. And I bet you if you don't know him from AEW, then maybe you know something about his last WWE run. But I would imagine a lot of young people who have any inkling about pro wrestling know Cody Rhodes from AEW. I might be wrong.
maybe it's possible. The Met in any true wrestling fan knows the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. You know, the Bull of the Woods. Because he was a master. He was a master at cutting a promo. He was a master of the ring, like it or not. I mean, he was not the way an athlete is supposed to look. His belly just a little big, his hiney is just a little big, but brother, he was bad, and you all know he was bad. Um, he was he was one of the greats. Dusty was definitely one of the greats, and when he passed away, uh, the wrestling world was broken, and there'll never be another like Dusty, no matter what. Just like Savage, just like the Road Warriors, there'll never be another. Um, so thinking that Cody's going to be like his dad, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. He's not like his dad. He's very different, but he's a huge marquee name. And I think outside of him, I don't think WWE has anything left right now that hasn't already been exhausted. Like you just said, Kevin Owens that we're seeing at the Royal Rumble, it's not like it's a first time encounter. So after they exhaust that, aside from Sami Zayn, I honestly don't know off the top of my head what they have to offer outside of Cody Rhodes. I mean, can you think of anything? We can always throw Seth Rollins in there, but I mean, we've done it already.
Yeah, true. Well, do you really now? Let's ask all our listeners and our viewers, especially those watching, later on public access TV. So please reach out to your station that you're viewing us on, and please reach out to the Faces and Heels. Go to the Angry Geeks Network website and let us know how you feel about this. But I completely lost my train of thought here because I was marketing. Do you? I mean, who do you want to see Roman go up against? Do you really want to see? Here's where I was going with this. Do you really want to see Sami Zayn kind of, sort of, break up with the Bloodline? Do you want to see that story end? Are you having fun seeing it go on? Are you having just as much fun as everyone else? Because if you really think about it, Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt, we were all having fun when they were together. And we're all hoping to have that fun again. When they were together, again, I said this once, Jack, at WrestleMania, when she was up top and the blood was coming down her face, we both stood up. We both stood up. Everybody in the house watching WrestleMania that night. We had pizza, we had nachos, we had all kinds of food, but we all forgot about the food. We all stood up when that happened. We all marked out because it was awesome, and then Vince McMahon wrecked it. Do we want what we have right now that's going on with the Bloodline? It's so entertaining. It's so funny. It's so captivating. It has people that didn't like the Bloodline liking the Bloodline. It's selling merch. It's selling every T-shirt they get now. It's going out. Catchphrases are coming out. People are bringing signs. Do they really want it to end it? Because it's still rolling with steam. Do you want to see that end? Now, let us know. Send us an email, send us a message. Comment now and let us know. Do you think it ran its course already, or do you think it still has a lot of go-go juice? What do you think?
So here's what I think maybe some of our listeners would respond with, and may respond with shortly, because the question I asked, and you brought it up, the only other person on the roster who I think would have any real excitement in this main event would be Bray Wyatt, but it's too soon. They got him feuding with what's his name, LA Knight.
Let me talk to you. Yeah,
The Rock Jr.
Eric. Well, Eric just answered my little rant here, my question, saying it's still fresh.
100%.
It's very fresh, and they should keep it going. I mean, until it runs dry. I mean, definitely just keep it going until the crowd stops chanting Usi, and just just keep those T-shirts selling and have those people come in with signs and just keep it going. And now Eric did say that he says he can see Sami causing Roman to lose. Yeah, I can see that too. Because Sami is like their idiot brother, the goofy family member, the stupid cousin. I can see all that, but let it go, let it ride, and just because it's funny, and it looks like the whole Bloodline is having more fun going to work than they ever had, because they're all laughing whenever they're in the ring and Sami gets the mic. They're constantly laughing. And especially when the crowd is, when Jay and Jimmy are telling the crowd to shut up because they're getting behind Sami, because Sami's making everybody laugh, especially Roman, who constantly has to cover his mouth because he's laughing so hard. And especially Paul Heyman. I've never, ever seen Heyman break character, except for when Sami's in the ring. And it's just, it's fantastic. And I think Sami is definitely making all those guys more likable. And I think they should just keep rolling with it because it's money. It's magic in a bottle. How often did you see this ever in professional wrestling?
Right. It's a rarity, and you do want to let it run its course. So think about it this way. They've got January. Then we already know the Royal Rumble. That gives them February and March. You got 2 more months. Within 2 months, can it run its course? Is it going to be dry by then? We don't know. But maybe that's what they need to do. Maybe, Sami Zayn and this storyline kind of wind down. Maybe Roman beats down Sami and he's out of action. He does a run-in for WrestleMania. And like Eric says, causes the opponent to defeat Roman Reigns for the belt at WrestleMania.
Or Roman still loses the belt, but Sami has nothing to do with it. Maybe Sami gets beaten up by somebody, and they still keep the bloodline together. It can still work. There's so many things they can do to keep Sami in the bloodline without any consequences, without anything. They keep Roman still as the tribal chief. Because, Roman's going to need a break, even though he's a part-timer.
He's still, how much more of a break does he need?
I know. I know. But, I mean, they could still, there's so much stuff they could do,
Yeah, no, okay. So there's still a lot that could be done here. I guess for me, I wonder, again, what do they have for marquee matches at WrestleMania? So are we going to see Seth Rollins and Will Ospreay? The big issue with a match like that, especially that, it's just there's rumors, doesn't mean that is anything real.
Who no, besides your normal wrestling fan, not your super fan, myself, you, Cody, Neil, Eric, any of our audience listeners, your normal wrestling fan, do they know who Will Ospreay is?
Thanks to AEW, a lot of fans do. And you're right.
I'm talking WWE fans that don't watch AEW.
Yeah, I understand. But I think there's a lot of crossover there. I don't know. But here's the main problem we're facing with everything we're talking about in terms of creative is that the word is, as of this past week, Vince McMahon has returned physically to Titan Tower and apparently is offering, quote unquote, suggestions to creative and other departments. And within this past week, what I've been reading is a handful of people from various departments who are thought of as kind of Hall of Famers have all quit WWE this week. So
I think that's what they're also, with McMahon returning to Titan Tower, I think that's why they moved Titan Tower, how they're like abandoning the building and moving to somewhere else because they know Vince is there. So they kind of figured if they move,
he won't be able to find it.
Yeah, he won't be able to find it. So that's why I think they moved. To be honest with you, and I'm going to be honest with our viewers and our listeners, when I heard that Vince came out of retirement so soon, or at all, it turned my stomach, and I was just like, I didn't want to watch it anymore. I was just like,
I had the same reaction. It's slimy.
Yeah,
I feel dirty.
I was like, that's it. I'm done. I can't watch it anymore. I don't want to watch it anymore. It's just, I can't, because I look forward to every Friday night. I look forward to, Tuesdays, not just doing the show with you, but coming home, just watching through Raw really quick or doing whatever. But now I'm just like, no. And then finding out, all the different rumors of all the different places he's going to sell it to, and especially when Stephanie leaves and this, that, and the other thing, I was like, you know what? I just can't do it anymore. This guy is an idiot.
Yeah, he's sadly out of touch. He seems to be completely morally bankrupt, and he's certainly not financially bankrupt. I wish he would just make the sale and go away. That's what needs to happen. He doesn't have a place here anymore creatively. I like the rumor that AEW wants to buy WWE, which financially they could do. But the competition keeps things fresh and interesting. So I'm not sure I want that, but it's an interesting thought.
Well, I would. Don't you think Triple H and Stephanie have enough money to buy his father-in-law out?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
I mean, just keep it in the family. Get Shane back and have all the kids just buy the damn company.
I don't think they have that kind of money.
I think that the only reason why Vince wants to sell is not only because he owes all these hookers money, is
Oh my God.
is because he doesn't want Linda to have any of it. You know?
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, sure. But I mean, he's got bigger issues than Linda to deal with. He's being sued by a multitude of people at this point, not just the sexual
I know he's also being sued by people on the board for coming back. I mean,
Yeah.
he's an idiot. I mean, I wonder if he showed up on TV, would they boo him?
I mean, if you're cheering Vince McMahon at this point, I don't even know what to say about you, but if I don't know, I sure hope not. I don't know what there is to cheer for this guy at this point. Sure, he did. We all know what he accomplished. We know there's a documentary coming out. No one's going to take that away from him, what he did and how he built this company. But there came a point where he was out of control, egomaniac. He's out of touch creatively, and he's doing a disservice to his product. So, he just doesn't see it apparently, but the party's been over for a while, and it's really, the time is long
Turn out the
overdue.
lights, the party's over. All right, let's ask our audience watching at home, watching on Pod TV, and listening and viewing us live. Would you boo Vince McMahon? How do you feel about Vince McMahon? Are you happy that he's back? Do you want him to go away? How do you feel about Vince McMahon? Let us know. Send us an email, send us a card, send us a DM or a comment right now, and let us know how you feel about Vince McMahon. Because I personally think that he should just go away. Whoa, Jack, it is trivia time! And trivia is brought to you by Alternate Universe LLC in New Haven and Milford. Make sure you stop by and see Eric, and they are Angry Geeks approved, that comic book shop. So if you want any comic books, stop in there and tell them that not only the Angry Geeks sent you, but Faces and Heels podcast. It is now time for old school trivia. Jack, what was the name of Outlaw Ron Bass's whip? Was it Miss Betsy, Miss Petunia, or Miss Clementine? What was the name of Outlaw Ron Bass's whip? Miss Betsy, Miss Petunia, or Miss Clementine?
Can I just say that Ron Bass was one of my least favorite wrestlers? I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay. Well, Eric Hunting comes in and says Petunia.
I think it's Betsy.
Say that one more time.
I must be wrong because Lewis wants me to say it twice. I think Outlaw Ron
Jack
Bass.
is correct with Miss Betsy. Yes, Jack actually gets it. And Jack, you win a no prize this week.
Oh, nice.
We'll give you 14 points for this week's question. And Eric Hunting, you get nothing, sir. You lose, sir. Good day to you. Yes.
You just dismissed Eric.
Yes, Outlaw Ron Bass's whip was Miss Betsy. Now, I'll give you, Eric and Jack, each an extra point if you could tell me who destroyed Miss Betsy. Okay. Eric says, story of my life. Who destroyed Miss Betsy?
I don't remember because Outlaw Ron Bass bored the crap out of me and I probably fell asleep during most of his matches, but I'm going to say my educated guess is based on the fact that he put Brutus the Beefcake out at one point.
Brutus the Beefcake?
Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Jack is right once again with Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Yes, but what? And okay, thank you very much. And of course, Outlaw Ron Bass got his reward got his revenge on Brutus the Barber Beefcake by taking out his spurs and running him across Brutus's forehead.
Busted him wide open. He was wearing the crimson mask.
And that's your classic trivia for this week, or the old school trivia rather. That is that for Faces and Heels podcast. If you have an old school trivia, please send it to us. Drop us a DM, email us, and let us know, and we can try to stump Ink Slinging Jack Purcell every week, or our guest when we have a guest on.
Yes, please do, because that was fun. And the fact that I won makes it even more fun. So thank you very much. I'll do it again
I'm
next week.
surprised you won that one.
You're always surprised when I win. What's up with that?
I was like, holy crap, he got that one.
Hey, you know what's kind of interesting, just because we have a kind of shift in our plans tonight. One thing that I was going to talk to you about privately, but I wonder if any of our listeners or viewers watch. MLW has kind of a cool match that's unusual for them coming up. I don't know if you saw this, but Taya Valkyrie is going to be defending her belt against East Hampton, Massachusetts' own Delmi Exo.
Really?
That's
so
right.
Mrs. John Morrison is going to be fighting Mrs. Rip Bison? Really?
That's right. That's right, Lewis.
Where?
It's an MLW event. I'm sorry, I don't know off the top of my head. I think it's February 2nd or 3rd. It's coming up in a few weeks right after the Rumble. But MLW has whatever. That's one of the matches. I got to say, I don't follow MLW as much as I used to. It's gotten a little stale for me. Although Alex Hammerstone defending against Jacob Fatu, sounds really good. It's a rematch, because that's when the title exchange happened. Alexander Hammerstone won it from Fatu. But apparently Jacob Fatu's dealing with an ankle injury, so hopefully he's healed up and 100% for this match. But anyway, the card looks to be shaping up, and I just wanted to throw that out there because I was excited that Delmi was getting a title match.
Wow, that is a way to go right there. Eric Hunting comes in and he says, "Let's go, let's go, let's go,
let's go."
Yeah, definitely. That would be a banger. Speaking of banger, a lot of controversy over my boy Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. A lot of controversy over their tag team's new name, because they put them guys together and they are a new tag team. But maybe they're going to be the ones to dethrone the Usos. Right. They're called the Banger Brothers. Well, Jack, what's your thought on that?
Maybe not the most refined thought process there. I don't know. Sure, hey, I'm not going to get in the way of either of those guys. Call yourselves whatever you want.
I personally, I think it's hilarious. I think they could have came up with a better name, but I do think it's hilarious, and I really, really think that Triple H must have came up with that name because it definitely sounds like a Triple H name. I'm digging the gimmick. I love how you could tell that they're both of them are best friends in real life. Obviously, Drew was Sheamus's best man during the wedding, and vice versa during Sheamus's wedding. Have you been seeing the vignettes that they're doing and the cutaways that they're doing, or no?
I have. I've seen a little bit of it. I love Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, so whatever. I'm all good. Whatever they want to do with them.
Whenever they're chopping each other, you can see when one gets a little bit more stiffer than the other. You can see the looks on their faces. It's hilarious. So I like it, and I like how they're doing it with the Banger Brothers. But the name is quite funny. That being said, what's going to happen with Butch and Rich Holland?
I don't know, man, but I wouldn't mind seeing Butch go away and seeing Pete Dunne, the bruiserweight, come back.
Okay, fair enough. Me too. I would like that. Rich Holland, what would you think about that?
I mean, back to NXT. I'm not really sure what they're going to do with him.
Back to finishing school because he's not done?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it's hard to kind of look past him, and it's not that it's a blame game, but after the injury with Big E, that was a big one, man. That spot just
Yes.
wasn't necessary and just wasn't good. But whatever, he's learning too. The guy tried something, it didn't work out. I don't know what to think of him on the main roster, honestly. But there's other guys who I think are doing fine. Like, I don't honestly know what to think of Braun Strowman on the main roster. To me, it's like, whatever. I'm glad he lost to Gunther, by the way. That was an interesting match. Speaking of chops, also.
Mm-hmm. Braun he's very funny. Braun is very funny to think about and to wonder what they're going to do with him. I think he came back with rather large expectations, but now again they're like, what do we do with him?
Yeah, I actually thought him versus Gunther might be WrestleMania, and I was surprised to just see that on SmackDown.
I think that Braun is definitely a one-trick pony. He's a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
He doesn't do too much. Getting back to crap. Yeah, see, you got me thinking. Braun is no.
What are you gonna
Rick
do with him?
Boogs. Rick Boogs. He's still out with that horrible leg injury. I mean, he had some massive talent. He was definitely over.
Yeah.
And he's gone.
It's a shame. I really liked him.
Yeah, Wolfie's in the house. Wolfie, hey,
Wolfie's
Wolfie, how you
his
doing?
house.
Hey, what does Wolfie have to say?
Wolfie says, "Do you think that Braun Breaker will make it to the main roster? And what are your thoughts on him not using the Steiner name?"
Well, that was, he looks like a Steiner. He looks like his uncle. Talks like his dad. Dresses like both of them when they came to the WWF. And he's a Steiner through and through, definitely. Everyone knows he's a Steiner when he inducted them both into the Hall of Fame. I don't think he's ready to come to the main roster. I think that if they did bring him to the main roster, it would be too much, too quick for him, and he'll end up like his uncle, and all that fame will go to his head. And I think right now he should just stay where he is, because I don't think he's ready. Jack, what do you think?
Same. I think you'll potentially, maybe, depending on creative, see him come up in the summer. I don't think you're going to see him for the WrestleMania reset. I still think it's too soon for him. I think there's a lot of potential, though. I mean, I like him. I'm not down on him, but I just feel like he's a little meatheadish. And I think that if there were another dimension to him, which I think he just needs time to unlock, he'll be great on the main roster. There's no doubt, too. I mean, this guy's custom made for the main roster. We know that's what he's been bred to do. He'll be there, but I don't see the sense, like you said, in rushing him there. What's the point? They've got enough talent. It's not like they don't have a bloated roster. Carmelo Hayes is the guy who I'm kind of wondering why he's not on the main roster. I would think if he doesn't make it next month, you'll definitely see him the night after WrestleMania making his main roster debut.
I don't know. I don't. You always talked about Carmelo Hayes. I'm not sure. I am not sure.
Wow.
Yeah, because I mean, Cameron Grimes for me, man. I know they're grooming him,
100%,
but to the moon.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, the guy has talent. He should have been on the main roster way before LA Knight. And I mean, we all know LA Knight came from Impact, from TNA, but yeah, let me talk to you. No, I can't wait to see Bray kill him for sure.
Yeah, Cameron Grimes I mean, we've been talking about him for a long time. He's great. Of course he belongs on the main roster. I think he's another one. Him and Carmelo Hayes, to me, are just kind of twiddling their thumbs, really, on NXT at this point, and they're great. And those guys could have excellent matches with a broomstick. So sure, they're fine there, but I feel like it's like a waste of their career at this point. Like, why not move them up to main roster? Especially because Triple H is in charge at the moment.
I think Triple H will remain in charge. I think if Vince took over creative and did this and did the other thing, I think Triple H would quit. I think Triple H would resign.
Let's
He would
hope
walk
so.
out.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
hope.
Before we get to Wolfie's comment, there is one thing that we have not talked about yet tonight, and it is one of the biggest returns of all time. Adam Cole, baby. What? I mean, he's back. Great comeback. What was your thoughts on that whole promo he cut?
First of all, that episode was incredible. That was one of the best episodes ever. And we had our friend Travis Moody was there, another buddy, Stuart Schreck. We had some Faces and Heels listeners and friends who were at that show. Top to bottom, that show was insane. And so Adam Cole returning was just icing on the cake, man. I loved it. Loved seeing him back.
Do you think he's going to have ring rust or
not at all? No way.
Okay.
Nope, none.
All right. Now, do you think the whole Britt Baker dropping the little "I'm the boss now" wink of the eye, was that a Easter egg, or was that a shot at Sasha Banks?
I just think they're having fun with it. You know, they knew she wasn't going to be there. That was just teasing the fans. Like, hey, we'll make you think maybe Sasha Banks is showing up. Now, I don't think Sasha Banks necessarily has any intentions of coming to AEW. And if it happens, great. But I don't know. They're just having fun. I don't think it's anything more than that.
I think that if Sasha Banks came to the WWF, or what is her name now? Mercedes. That's her real name.
Mercedes Moné, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think she comes to AEW, she would be the one to take out Jade.
Yeah, sure. I mean, no doubt. I think that's a good plan. No reason why not. I mean, she's money in the bank, so to speak. So why not? Yeah, her ending Jade's streak doesn't hurt Jade at all. She's really losing to Sasha Banks or Mercedes Moné. Yeah, that's a good plan. I think you called it.
But do you think? I mean, I watched this, and I mentioned it here before, and I talked to my two boys about this. I watched the clip a gazillion times of Sasha and Paige, or Saraya, whatever you want to call her. And I really think that was some legitimate heat. It was not an accident. I really think she hit her hard to break her neck.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't think so. I really don't see why she would. I mean, if she hit her stiff, whatever, who knows? Maybe that was just, like she hit her stiff. You can do that. I don't think there was any.
Oh,
intention.
I know. Believe me, I know you could do that.
Right. So, like, why would she want to put her out? I don't see the intention there. I will say that I think Chris Statlander is going to be the one to come back and take out Jade Cargill.
Oh, I hope so. I miss Chris, but
Yeah.
she's very injury prone, and
Yeah.
is that because she's reckless, or is just because the people that she's working with are not as classy and is not as talented as Chris?
Her body may just not be able to handle it. It could be that simple.
Maybe.
Wolfie
Maybe.
says,
Wolfie.
I just think it's a shame that a good part of the second, third, fourth generation wrestlers are not being allowed to use their family name. Bray Wyatt, Bo Dallas, Braun Breaker, many others. I mean, I don't even really see any reason why they need to. I mean, think about it. What's the marketing ploy there? What's the point of using their name if it's not benefiting them to market their character? I don't see any reason why. Like Bo Dallas, that the Bo Leave thing was awesome in NXT. They screwed it up on the main roster, but is Bo Dallas better by calling him Bo Rotunda? Like, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, if they, I mean, they can also call him, I don't know. His dad was also Erwin R. Shyster.
Yeah, right. Which, by the way, got him super over.
Yes, he was more over as IRS than he was Mike Rotunda, even though he was part of the U.S. Yeah, even though he was a tag team champion with Barry Windham, as the U.S. Express, who, by the way, a real American, was actually written for. Thank you, Rick Derringer. And so I mean, but he was very, very forgetful. Do you remember also when Mike Rotunda wore, actually before he became IRS, he actually wore the captain suit? Does anyone?
No, I don't remember that.
Yes, he wore a captain suit. It was kind of like, it was a blue suit with a hat, and he kind of looked like the skipper from Gilligan's Island. I'll never forget that.
You should try. You should try to forget that.
I'll have to pull up a picture. And Wolfie comes back and says, "I remember that."
Sorry guys, I got that device in my brain that shuts that down.
Oh my God, yes, he did. He wore that, and it's hilarious. I forget what his name was, but it'll pop. Watch, 1 o'clock in the morning, I'll jump up and say, "Poopy trim." It'll come up, and
I'll get a text. Like Lewis.
He remembers. God damn it! No, yeah, just bad things like Damien Demento. I remember all this stuff.
Remember Beaver Cleaver? Was that his name?
Oh yeah, he's the one that walked off set during.
That was awesome. He's like, "What am I doing?"
Yeah, he was one of the headbangers, and
right. He was. Yeah.
I mean, the headbangers. Here you go, a tag team. They had no one else. Do you guys want to be the tag team champions? Okay. They were worse than Techno Team 2000. Yeah. Okay. This is when the WWE had no tag teams other than the Smoking Guns, Scissor Me Daddy Ass, and where's Bart Gunn today? Nowhere to be found. Where's Billy Gunn? Being a superstar, still making the money. And it's just that, wow. And Captain Mike Rotunda, I don't know, Wolfie. What Wolfie saying that it was Captain Mike Rotunda. I'm gonna have to look for that and just see if I can remember. It's just bad. But when him and DiBiase were Money Inc., it was just crazy.
Yeah.
He was more over than anything. Jack, we're at the hour mark. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find some great art, especially with Valentine's Day coming up, and that awesome Batwoman that profile that you just not profile headshot that you just did. Tell everyone where they can find you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, well, you know what? You could find me at the angrygeekshow.com if you look under merch. So you could look there. You can DM me at Jack Purcell Inc. on Facebook, on Instagram. Patreon.com's got some cool artwork if you want to support me there. Patreon.com, just search for Jack Purcell. But again, Valentine's Day is coming up. I've done some pretty fun stuff. There's a really cool Deadpool Valentine's Day piece that I did that was really fun. So if you got an idea, hit me up. That would be fun. But again, you can find us at Faces and Heels on Facebook, Faces and Heels Podcast on Instagram. If you're on TikTok, look up Faces and Heels Podcast. I've got artwork and all kinds of information about the podcast there. I'm still trying to figure out the algorithm there. If you're on TikTok, man, I don't know what's going on there. It's a crazy.
Maybe I'll do a Macho Man video and I'll put it on TikTok instead of the Angry Geek Show. How about that, brother? Yeah, would you guys love that? Yeah, all right.
Love it.
Dig it. I'll do that.
Lewis, where can we find you?
Right here in the Geek Lair, every Monday night, broadcasting with the one and only that Wonder Woman Jamie Dolan and our sidekick, Quinderella herself, Miss Emily. Then every Tuesday night, right here with my brother from another mother, ink-slinging Jack Purcell, as we record Faces and Heels Podcast. So that's right, you got the Angry Geek Show, you got the Faces and Heels Podcast, all coming to you on your public access television stations, on Pod TV, on all of your favorite places to get your podcasts. We are the kings of media right here in Western Massachusetts, in New England. That's where we are. Why? Because that's what we do.
Right.
We are the Duke. We are a number one. for the Faces and Heels from the Angry Geeks Network. And we will see you guys later, and I'll see you next Monday night. Where? Right here.